All right, Matrixx and Rhodes Show supporters. Well, one of the things that happened this week was, oh man, Joe Biden went and had himself a physical exam done at Walter Reed. I think by now a lot of us has already seen the video of Joe Biden sauntering out, shuffling out to get on a helicopter and fly off to do this, what turned out to be a physical exam. And then the White House press, of course, after the fact came out and said, Joe Biden didn't have a cognitive test. And I'm like, wait, say what? Say what? Come again? Wait, the one blatant issue this guy's got, nobody decided to test? Claimed that every day as president is his cognitive test. Well, wait a minute now. One of the biggest things he's criticized on is his mental acuity, his mental sharpness. Can he run the country? All right. My dad was very mentally sharp until, he was gone at 91 years old. But I can tell you at 81, even as sharp as this guy was, he was still a salesman in the steel industry at 80 years old. And he was very sharp and very good at his job and still closing $1 million deals. He was not capable of being president at that age. He was not. All right. He just could not have done the job. I think a lot of us feel like Joe Biden can't do the job. Well, Dr. Phil was on two different places. Now, I like Dr. Phil. He tends to not sugarcoat a lot. And he made two striking comments. As we know, I mean, he comes out and says one of his fields of practice was brain activity, mental acuity, mental sharpness. And he addressed the issue of Biden, and he basically says Joe Biden is hiding his cognitive failures at this point. I think a lot of smart people know that. But Dr. Phil just did not really hold back in either place. He was on with Bill Maher. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't watched this week's Bill Maher yet, but I need to. And because Bill Maher, I saw a clip yesterday, he absolutely obliterated Biden in his age. He crushed him in the dirt. And Hillary Clinton and John Kerry took stray bullets from Bill Maher, too. I was like, wow, what's going on here? And Dr. Phil was also on TMZ. So let's check this out. Daily Wire. Dr. Phil McGraw said during an interview late this week that President Joe Biden should take a cognitive exam to prove that he has nothing to hide. Well, that's the thing. If he was to take one and it comes back, well, here's the problem. Even if he took one, all right, or said he took one, I'm not sure I would trust the results. And I guess what I should say is I'm not sure that I would be confident in the trust of the results that are being conveyed back to us. In other words, do I think they'd lie? Yes, I do. I've been, if you've watched this channel or Black and White Network or Black and White Sports or seen any of our live streams, at some point, you may have very well seen me or hear me say, this guy's not running for president. Surely he cannot run for president again. I still think it's going to be Gavin Newsom at the end of the day. McGraw made the remarks during an appearance Friday night on HBO's Real Time with Bill Maher when asked about the subject after Biden recently had his yearly physical exam but did not take a cognitive test. So this was what he said on the Bill Maher show right here.
All right, here are the questions. Dr. Phil, do you think President Biden should take a cognitive exam?
If you got people that have nothing to hide, hide nothing, so why not?
Okay, so if you've got nothing to hide, why wouldn't you take this? That's a great point. It's a valid point. You know, it makes a lot of sense. Take one on camera. Like literally make it part of your campaign. Sit down, take one on camera and prove to the world that you have not had this mental fall off. Look, we all know this was Dementia Joe when he was running. Here we are 4 years later. The drop off is dangerous. It's gotten so bad. So he was on TMZ, Dr. Phil was, and he made further comments.
When I heard yesterday that the doctor who did the physical exam for Joe Biden came out and said he doesn't need a cognitive test, so we're just not going to do one, it just felt so ridiculous to me, because that's the issue in the election. People have seen things on television that are concerning, and if they've seen it, it seems like the doctor has seen it, and it just felt so false to me. And I'm wondering how you felt about it.
One of my specialties back when I was in practice was brain and central nervous system, and cognitive ability, cognitive agility. And these things can be defined objectively, such as memory, of course, and what's called working memory, the ability to comprehend, put sentences together, express yourself. All of these things are very measurable. And if you really had nothing to hide, I think you would hide nothing. And if you had no problem with neurological deficits, wouldn't you want to crow about that? Wouldn't you want to have a transparent neurocognitive examination and show the world that was the case? That kills the issue in the election.
Okay, he's right. I mean, Joe Biden's got an opportunity to put all the questions about his mental sharpness and acuity to rest. He could bury it. But he won't, because he can't. I mean, let's be honest. He won't because he can't. They're going to continue to try to shift it and hide it. I guess through the election. Of course, I contend he's not running the country anyway. It's Big Mike and it's Barack behind the scenes that are running this whole shit show right now. I truly believe that. But I think it's very interesting that Dr. Phil makes a great point here. You know, if you've got nothing to hide, this is something that you would want to prop up. You would want to turn into election propaganda. You know, put this thing in a campaign ad. Let a Democratic PAC get behind it. Look at Joe Biden and his once they've questioned his blah blah blah. You know how this goes. Nope. No, hell no. He won't even take the test. He won't even take. Look, Joe, just answer C on all the questions. You'll get 33% of them right, probably. What's C? Question mark. What's a C? Wow. Well, yeah, anyway. Tell me what you think. Matrixx and Rhodes Show supporters. Dementia Joe said nah to the cognitive test, and Dr. Phil, for lack of a better way of putting it, said bullshit on that. Peace, I'm out. Till next time.